Breaking out of the corporate world is easier than you think. So whether or not you want to go all in your creative interest or find a way to snowboard your side hustle into an alternative career, you can still do all that without losing your stable 9 to 5. I should know because I found a way to make my DJing dream a reality whilst keeping the day job as a doctor. And healthcare hours are certainly not 9 to 5, trust me. That's why I'm going to share my personal stories for effective visualization, networking with your idols, and utilizing your own leverage. Visualization is so popular in self-help circles, and for good reason. Studies on gymnastic ability found that athletes were more precise at performing complicated moves when they'd allocated time to imagining themselves going through the motions. But the mistake I avoided was making sure I did more than simply envisioning my future. I put myself in the environment. During the early days of my DJing life, when I'd set my sights on one day performing at Ocean Beach Club in Ibiza, one of the biggest beach clubs in the world, often visited by pretty big celebs, I decided to check it out for myself. By being in the room, seeing the club for myself, I could absorb the vibe. The pictures I took there became high quality reference material for my visualizations so that I could place myself in a reliable simulacrum of the club rather than some vague abstract dream. Too often we're scared to take the first step, but it helps to physically put yourself in the type of environments you one day hope to master. Like stand-ups say how important it is to check out a venue from the point of view of a customer, and artists check out museums and galleries to help refine their own sense of direction. Plus, it makes it way easier to network with your idols. Whoever said you should never meet your idols was wrong. In my experience, it was a game changer. When I started introducing myself to the owners and bookers for big events, I wasn't as nervous because I wasn't trying to persuade them in that moment to give me a spot. And they could tell I wasn't needy. That way, months later, when I did hit them up, we had a rapport that was more organic. The more I put myself in the right environments, the more likely I was to get closer to the artists who inspired me. And then when we crossed paths, I did the same thing. The result was in my first year of DJing, I got in the room with 5 of the top 100 DJs in the world. Marshmello, Diplo, David Guetta, Nervo, and Lost Frequencies. And of these 5, I scored 2 opportunities to work on official remixes. One for Nervo and the other for Lost Frequencies. Seriously, my collabs with them got hundreds of thousands of streams, plus airtime on BBC Radio 1. And this wouldn't have happened if I'd been too scared to drop a DM or small talk backstage, or even build connections with people in their circles. Had that not had happened, I wouldn't have any leverage. I hope you're finding this video helpful so far. If you are, make sure you hit the subscribe button below to stay up to date with my content and events. Let's continue. As I discovered more opportunities, there was a temptation to say or act in a way that fit the mold. That's human nature. If you've wanted something for so long, it can be intimidating to risk losing it all. But you have to be true to yourself. Centering my brand on being a DJ who's also a doctor was a risk because it went against everything my field said I needed to be. But I also knew this unique angle would give me unique advantages. Curious journalists wanted to interview me, which gave me more exposure. Intrigued bookers noticed me, which got me more stage time on main stages. Even people on the street wanted to talk to me about my lifestyle, which helped me meet many more amazing fans. From then on, I made sure to leverage more than my growing portfolio. I made sure to leverage myself, not just as an artist, but as a person. And bit by bit, these results compounded, which is how I can sit here today and say, I made my dream a reality, and so can you. If you've made it this far, I know you're taking your growth seriously. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. I made this vlog showing you what it's actually like being a doctor and DJ, all the emotions, lifestyle tips, and probably the biggest DJ show I've ever performed at. I'll see you in the next video.